show you like, then I will
Yeah.
show you like how
Automation.
it's automated and how it will run.
Okay.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, yeah. So basically, uh, suppose whoever is a end user, like suppose he have to raise a ticket, so he goes to this portal which is /sp, and
Oh.
suppose you want to create any ticket, so he will go to get help,
Mhm.
and like suppose if you want to create an incident, like create a ticket, so create incident. So depending upon the issue that he have, also basically all the projects, yeah, all the instances will have different configuration of that particular um, what to say portal. So because this is out of box like personal instance, so it has this type of configuration, like create incident form is there. There are two fields which are required, and once those two fields are filled, like both are mandatory, and then we can click on submit. So I'll just click on any.
Okay.
I have a issue with my system. Say if I type this, and then I will click on submit. Once I click on submit, uh, the ticket will be created, which is this.
Yeah.
Now I have created this ticket on like from my user, and my user is a system administrator, so he becomes the caller, and whatever urgency I selected, that is populated, and uh, this number is created. So now whatever actions will happen on this particular incident will be visible to me in activity. Okay, and
Oh.
actually the incident is created now. So now suppose I will run this test. Now this is also a test which will help me to create a incident with from backend, sorry, from front end. So I will click on run test. So this is a test which is already automated, and I'll just click on run test so I can demo you how the test runs. So if you see that form has opened
Mhm.
where I navigated manually, yeah.
Okay.
So it have selected the urgency, and it says my laptop is broken.
It is selected automatically.
No, no, the test is selecting it. I mean, I have automated the test in such a way that it gets selected that. Now it is verifying in the backend that incident is created or not. Okay,
Okay.
incident is created or not, and whatever field values that the user has selected previously are the same, appearing the same in the backend as well.
Mhm.
So it is validating that the short description is my laptop is broken, and the urgency which the user selected is the same or not.
Okay.
So once this is done, we can click on go to result. Now it says output test pass, and each steps that was automated as success. In the manage attachments, we have the screenshots as well. We can download one sample screenshot like that. So this is how ATF work. So if you go to tests, under automated test framework, if you go to test, we can see all the tests that are currently present in the system. So I just ran one sample test and showed you, like first I showed you manually, and then like how automation work. So these tests can be also grouped into suites depending upon the functionality that they are testing, and then we can run the suite as well. So there are multiple features in this thing ATF,
Mhm.
and also like we are given user stories. We are given user stories like requirements in the form of requirements, like you have to test that this particular catalog, the one which I opened was a record producer, so this particular catalog is working fine or not. So what we do basically, we create a request out of it and verify in the backend that the request is actually created or not. Also, one
Okay.
more thing I would like to let you know, that whatever ATF does, after its execution, it's rollback. That means everything that was created as part of ATF is deleted.
Okay.
Now there are some functionalities which cannot be tested with ATF is like, see, the color of the user is system administrator is green. So those kind of checks are not possible through ATF, but maximum checks are possible. If they say to test that this color of the post button is green or not, so those kind of things are still not possible through ATF. But I believe uh, as the service now is upgrading itself, so most of the things will be possible through ATF. They are dwelling with really good features, and then that feature might also come. Also, there are more steps. Sometimes there are steps that we cannot do through ATF. We try to write a script. The script is written with the help of JavaScript, and some part of it which is not possible by the default steps. So then we can write a script also, depending upon the requirement, like what we need to test. And then we can produce a step configuration out of the JavaScript code, and then we can use it in our particular test. So that would be it from my side. Any questions?
Yeah, fine. But means every module we need to check that one, right? Like this is a incident, create incident,
Yeah,
like incident management.
yeah.
So like that problem management and
Change management,
yes, yes.
service catalog.
Hmm.
There are n number of modules in service now, and
Okay,
those n number of modules would work different for different clients,
okay,
because every client would configure it as per their requirement, as per their need. So what we
okay,
can do is we can basically go through each module first, like ITSM. Under ITSM, incident, problem, change, and
hmm,
some part of service catalog. So we can learn this, how it works manually, or you can go through it manually first, and then once we get that clear, then we can try to automate stuff.
okay,
Now, out of box, it's very simple. No fields are mandatory, not much things are developed, but mostly you will find a little difficulty in automating when you are working with actual client. So they have a lot of customizations in their system. So
okay.
that time the actual challenge comes. That time we are not able to see that, okay, we can automate this or we cannot. So there you get to automate the actual ATF. Now this out of box, if I open a incident form, let me do incident and then create new. So here you see only caller, short description, mandatory. Now there are cases that some client wants impact and urgency also mandatory, and sometimes they want short priority. Here also it's read only, but sometimes they want state also to be read only. So
Okay,
those kind of things, like those are extra verifications that a client want to added. client want to be Client want these modifications to be done. So basically we can do some practice in the personal developer instance, but actual development like this number also would be read only in the other instances, in the client instances. So basically the actual automation, I would say, you would learn more in client and when you're actually working with some client. But if you practice some part of it in the personal instance, then you will be able to do it very wisely and quickly and efficiently in a client based system.
yeah,
Yeah, so likewise I showed you incident. So we can learn out of box process for incident, but depending on client, it might had their own features. They might have it configured little differently, and based on that we would get requirements in the form of user stories. And looking at the user stories, we would automate our tests. Positive scenario, negative scenario, we can try to cover it.
okay,
And yeah, like that, same goes for problem. So now if we see problem, uh, like very less configurations are there in out of box. Most of the things are like not mandatory, but uh, if you go to the client system, there would be some extra fields. Sometimes there would be like based on service assignment group will be populated, those checks would be there. So based on different service, different assignments group will be populated. In that case we can do many good things in ATF if there are options to check multiple options to check. So now recently a very a quick and efficient way have come into ATF for testing multiple parameters.
Okay.
Yeah, and same goes for
And this
change.
is useful for only for inside the service now, right? Not
Inside
outside
the
the.
service now, not outside the service now. As soon as, suppose some link is going out of service now, consider that I had to test that this link, if I click, it goes to the it opens in a new tab, and that link is outside of service now. So
Okay.
that type of verifications cannot be done through ATF. So in that case, we tell our client that we would be doing that part manually, rest of the
Hmm.
part we can automate. Or what we can do, whenever we are running the tests, we can click it, so that time a new window will open with the, suppose wherever it should redirect with that particular URL, but that part we will have to verify manually. Screenshots and all will not be captured because the system is going outside of service now.
Okay.
So the scope of ATF is inside service now only.
Okay.
Yeah.
And basic testing concepts means you know, right? So you need to manual testing, like test cases, preparing test cases.
Yeah, that also you will have to learn how we
Okay.
can write basic, like first of all, testing concepts, your testing concepts should be clear. Like if they would ask you anything, then you should be able to answer. Apart from that, suppose if you're going for an interview, they would also ask you what all modules you have worked on
Okay.
when you're working in automation ATF. Then you have to say, I have worked in incident problem change. Some might ask you the process, so you can tell
Hmm.
them, I can tell you the basic process, but again, depending upon different clients, like that type, diplomatically you can answer.
Okay.
Yeah, but one limitation is you can only automate things inside ServiceNow and not outside ServiceNow. Considering this, if you think that you should learn ATF, then we are good to go further.
Okay. Okay. Job market is good, right? Service of ATF currently.
Yeah, currently ServiceNow development and testing both are good only. Like
Yeah.
there are many opportunities, but you can still do your own research.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Vimal.
Okay. If there is nothing else, are we good to close the call?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I will let you know after this
Okay.
call. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank
Thanks,
you. Thanks
thanks.
for.
Thank you both of you.
Yeah. Okay.